It's your girl Abrielle Sonke, and welcome to Give and Go Podcast, where we here will be giving you the godly tools to go be who God has called you to be. If you're new here, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on my notification bell so you can always be aware when I drop new content. Happy Sunday, everybody. I hope everybody has had a great week. I'm so sorry for the late upload. I know I said I will be doing every Saturday, but y'all, life has been life, and I have two kids now, not one. So my house has been chaotic. I'm in school. I work full time. So I'm just gonna start dropping these when I feel led to drop them. Just like I do on TikTok when I go live with you all. You know I don't have a standard time on when I go live. I just go live when the Holy Spirit tells me to go live, and I talk to you guys when He tells me to talk to you guys. So that's how I'm gonna start dropping my episodes. But make sure you follow us on Instagram at Give and Go Podcast with an underscore, and you can follow me on TikTok at Chosen by God 26. This is officially episode 2. I know I have a change of scenery, y'all. I came across a fire studio. Shout out to Derek here at Podcast Detroit. Listen, I'm not leaving here. This is Give and Go Podcast new home, okay? So I thank God for helping me find this place. I am so excited. But this is episode 2, and this episode is called Is It Even a Loss? And I just wanted to talk about how, like, sometimes on this walk with God, we can just miss our old way of living, right? Like when you're changing, even if you're just trying to change it to being a better person, you kind of miss your old environments, your own friendships, and things of that nature. But before we get into that, I want to start off with a moment of gratitude. That's what I'll be doing every episode. And for this moment of gratitude, I was really thanking God for opportunities of growth. I put in my notes, and I'm going to read it to you guys. I said, as I reflect, I found myself in seasons complaining about the weapons that formed against me when I should have been using that opportunity to praise God and allow Him to edify my character in those moments. An example of that for me personally was I went through a season where, like, people were just like trying to come for my character, drag my name through the mud. And instead of me fighting that spiritually and praying against that, and just allowing God to teach me how to be quiet, I found myself constantly trying to defend myself amongst people who already made a decision to misunderstand me, right? And when this happened, it hurt me because this is coming from the same individuals I have spoken life into, the same individuals I have prayed for, the same individuals I have helped, and just been a genuine person to. And so as I was writing in these notes, I heard God say loud and clear, it's because of me that's in you. And sometimes people's problems with you, the things that they have against you, it's never just because of you. When we're being an example of Christ and we're choosing a lifestyle that's righteous and the way that He wants us to live, people get irritated by that. And so the problem is ultimately with Him. The problem is always with Him. They can't stand Jesus. They don't like God. They don't like nothing about Him. So when we come as representatives, as disciples, and saying, hey, we choose to follow after Christ, they're not going to like us too. So God was just reminding me that it's never about you. It's the fact that you have chosen to follow me, that they don't like. And so, in the Bible it even says, because they hate me, they're going to hate you too. So never think when you follow after God or you're trying to do something right with your life, these people are going to like you. No, that just is what it is. So I wanted to bring up the scripture in the moment of gratitude, Isaiah 54:17. No weapon formed against you shall prosper, and every tongue which rises against you in judgment, you shall condemn. This is the heritage of the servants of the Lord, and their righteousness is from me, says the Lord. And I put in quotations, it's because of me that's in you. So remind yourself of that when you're in those moments of, just feeling down because of the trials and tribulations. It's always to edify you to become a better person. So I wanted to talk about, like, me personally, y'all, I would be lying if I said I did not miss my old way of doing things and my old lifestyle. Like, I'm 28 years old and I don't go turn up with my friends no more. I don't be in the club. I don't do these things, but sometimes you miss it, right? Like, you miss being in those environments, or the enemy will make you feel like you're missing out on anything. So I remember earlier this week, I told God straight up, I was like, God, I feel like I'm missing out with opportunities with being with my family and things like that. But then God was like, but is it even a loss? The relationships that you have lost, because that's what I was really thinking about earlier this week. It was like, man, such and such ain't cool no more, yada, 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 yada. And God was like, is it really even a loss though? I think as you get older, like you start to realize you really didn't have a lot in common with certain people. Like at the time, yeah, y'all got along because y'all did the same things, but ultimately because you were in the same place of brokenness, right? You were broken, I was broken. It's more so of a trauma bond, and this is why we hung out. So as I got older, I realized that like I really don't have a lot in common with these people. Um, Family members, old friends, and so God was like, it's not a loss. Then you're not losing anything from not being around these type of people no more. This isn't who I need you to be around. I heard a story about a study that was conducted, and the researchers, they took 100 black ants and they put the ants in a jar, right? The ants, they adapted to their environment. They just were living and doing what they do. So then the researchers took 100 red ants and they put them in the jar with the black ants. Both ants, sets of ants, they're living their lives, they're doing what they need to do, adapting to their environment. The researcher picked up the jar and shook the jar all crazy, and the black ants and the red ants started to attack each other and kill each other. And I say all that to say, who is your influence? When your back is up against the wall, who can you call to help you come back to reality? When you're thinking about walking out on your spouse, who can you call to say, this ain't it? When you're thinking about cussing people out, who do you have to call to tell you that is not the way that you should be handling certain situations? Do you have people around you that's contributing to who you are today? Or do you have a whole bunch of yes men around you that's okay with the mess that you're in because they don't know how to pull themselves out of their own mess? So they're going to help you dig yourself deeper in the mess that you're already in. Who is your influence? And that's what God was reminding me of. The people that I have in my circle right now, I have about 3 friends, genuine friends in my circle that I know if I am like going through it or I need prayer or I need somebody to talk me off this ledge, that if I call them and pick up the phone, they are going to be there for me. Some of y'all are praying for godly community and you have this picture in your head that it's supposed to be 100 to 50 people. No, sometimes your godly community can consist of one person. It could consist of 3 people. You're not supposed to have everybody around you. You have to be mindful. Use your discernment. Include God in the conversation of who should I connect with. Is this somebody that I should be allowing in my circle? Is this somebody that I should be trusting to have certain conversations with? Y'all just be so quick to just grab on to somebody because you're lonely. No, you have to be selective with who you have in your corner when you're trying to get your life right, because everybody's motives and their heart posture is not pure. And when you're connected to those people, you get contaminated just by association. And so that's why it's important to have the right people in your corner. And so as I was dissecting these relationships, and even when I was thinking about a certain person, I had told God like straight up, like I don't even feel like if the opportunity presented itself, I would ever reconnect with this person, because it's like we're in 2 different spaces, and God was just basically telling me like it's okay. You know what I'm saying? You can give people love, but you don't have to reconnect with people who are no longer on your level. And when I say that humbly. I don't want to be on the same level with people who's still operating out of bitterness. I don't have time for that. I don't want to be on the same level with you and you still don't know how to control your anger. I don't want to be on the same level with you and you're still cussing people out and you're doing this and doing that and got no motivation, not trying to do nothing with yourself. I don't want to be on that level with you. I'm trying to obtain everything that it is that God has for me. And so if that means that I got to leave you where you're at so God can continue to challenge me, not just change me, but challenge me. That's where them trials and tribulations come. It's a challenge. God does certain things to see how we will handle it. And you will repeat the same cycles and continue to go through the same things until you understand what it is that God is trying to teach you. I don't want to constantly be in that state where God is putting me through the same thing and I haven't learned from the lesson the first time. I don't have time for that. I want to learn from the lesson, and I want the lesson to change me so I can continue to level up. So not just missing the friendships, but missing the environment, right? I had went out, and this is just me being transparent. I had went out with a friend, and one thing about me, I'm gonna have a margarita. Yes, I love the Lord, and the Lord loves me, but I'm gonna have a margarita. I don't be out here drunk. I don't do all of that, but I don't necessarily think that like drinking is a sin, right? I think when you have allowed it to become an idol in your life along with everything else, that's when it becomes a sin. When you are drinking 24/7 and you can't put the bottle down and all of that, that's when it becomes a sin. But I don't think the Lord is sending people to hell because they're having a glass of wine or or it's things of that nature. So I don't necessarily think it's a sin. So I was out and I had a drink with the people, but the Lord had told me not to be too familiar. That's the thing. Don't be too familiar, because when you're out and you're engaging in these things, even though I know I got self control, I've never been an alcoholic. I've never been a drug addict or anything of that nature. Have I smoked weed? Yes. I've been there, done that. But to allow it to control myself in any type of form, I have not been in that space. I could cold turkey drop something without a heartbeat. So the Lord was just like, don't get too familiar. You know what I'm saying? I have changed you. You're in a space of being changed. But when you engage in certain things and you continue to go to these certain places, you're not looking unfamiliar to them. You're looking just like them. Right. And the Lord is funny because all while I was on TikTok, y'all know I be on TikTok. I kept seeing videos of these young girls at these bars. And they all were coming out saying the same thing that the Lord was telling me. One girl was like, the Lord told me not to be too familiar. So God does certain things with me as confirmation, like, yes, I'm talking to you about this. Don't be too familiar. Please don't be too familiar in this season. I don't want to go back looking like how I used to look or doing the same things that I used to do. So the Lord had to check me on that. And I'm sorry, y'all. He had to check me on that. And I had to really sit with myself and, really think about that. And sometimes when you fall in those little mishaps and you go through that little, you know, I call it like a fallback. I don't know. You slip up. I don't know what to call it, but your little slip ups. The enemy come in your ear like, "Oh, you're going to hell. You're a horrible person. How you gonna be on TikTok talking about God and you taking a shot?" Da 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 da. And God was like, "No, I'm correcting you. My correction is for love. You know what I'm saying? I'm correcting you because I understand that you're human. I understand that you were going to do this before you even knew that you were going to do it. But I'm not the type of person to excuse it, right? Like some of us try to abuse God's grace. Like we just have this mentality that no matter what I do, God is just going to be there, love on me. And yes, his grace is sufficient, but God can't remove his hand off of you. Like you can't just keep living how you want to live and do what you want to do and think God's not going to be like, all right, let's wrap this up. Like, no, God wants you to choose him. He wants you to do all of the things that he has called and designed for your life, but he will remove his hand off of you. I don't ever want to know what that looks like or feels like. I don't I'm okay. I rather just do what I need to do because I've done it all and I found no happiness out of the things I was doing. I was still broken. There was voids that still needed to be filled. The voids I was trying to fill with whatever it was that I was doing, it didn't help. And the only way that those voids got taken care of and that brokenness got changed to restoration was for me to allow God to come in my life. I always tell y'all about my upbringing and things like that and my identity crisis and all of that stuff. Even when it came down to like dressing, like this is crazy for me to say, but y'all know back then, 2022, I used to be the flyest in the room. Okay. I used to dress a little bit provocative. I wouldn't say I dressed like a whore or anything, but boobs was out, butt was out. I didn't care. And then the Lord in 2022, I was at home by myself. I'll never forget. And he was talking to me about the way I dress. And he told me to go in my closet and throw away everything. And I went in my closet and I threw away everything. And I knew I was ready to change because I found no attachment in those things. Like I found no attachment in those outfits. I didn't cry. I didn't feel no type of way. I just packed them clothes up and threw them away. And then I told you guys how he told me to throw away my Tupac shirts. And I was so hurt about that because I was like, God, why am I throwing away my Tupac shirts? Y'all know I love Tupac. I love Tupac. And he was like, he didn't glorify me. So why do you glorify me? I mean, why do you glorify him? And I asked him, I was like, how do I glorify him? And he was just showing me how certain things I had picked up and added to my identity because I like Tupac. And it's so easy to do. Like, that's why I said, who is your influence? The type of stuff that we listen to, it's an influence. When you listen to the girl shake it low, drop it to the flow and all that other stuff, it's going to influence you to do exactly what you're hearing, to be like that. And so, yeah, God had to deal with me on some certain things. All right, so that's what I really wanted to shed light on is just like how sometimes in this walk with God, the enemy will make you feel like you're missing out on stuff. You're missing out on being in the clubs, you're missing out on all those things. But enough about talking about that. I really want to talk about what do you gain from following the Lord? Yes, these things have made me feel like I'm missing out, but you're really not missing out. What do I gain from the Lord? I gained back my happiness. I've gained back my sense of peace, y'all. 2021, I was going through it mentally, mental health wise. I just could not enjoy my life for real. Every time I woke up, I just had this aching pain. I had anxiety real bad. The enemy was trying to kill me with stress. So the moment I start giving my problems to God and allowing Him to change me and actually being ready for change is when I start seeing the turnaround. I've changed as a person. This Abrielle that I am today, I would have never thought I would be her today. Like, I am really grateful for not only the growth that has taken place in my life, but my ability to say yes, my ability to sit down with myself and keep it real with myself. Like, I remember one day I had woke up and I just told God straight up, I literally said, God, I'm tired of myself. That was the best way I could put it. Like, I'm tired of myself. I'm tired of rehearsing the same things that have hurt me in my mind. I'm tired of taking things personally from people who have already shown me who they are. I'm tired of doing things my own way and not allowing you to do what you need to do. Like, God was just showing me so many things about myself, how I had a control issue. And because of this control issue that I had, it was affecting the way that I was allowing him to show up in my life because I wanted to control how he did that. I wanted to control what God did. I wanted to control the blessings he gave me, which was insane. But I told God, like, I need you to do something. I don't want anything else that I can give myself. I'm tired of doing stuff my own way. I'm tired of cussing people out. I'm tired of being mean. I'm tired of all of this stuff. I need you to change me. I stopped praying about certain people, like not praying for them. I pray for everybody, but what I mean is in my intimate time with God, I found that I spent most of that time complaining to him about people. Such and such did this, they don't understand, da 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 da. And none of that time that I'm in that closet supposed to be praying to God, did I ever acknowledge God? I'm just sitting there complaining for an hour and a half and leaving my closet thinking I did justice. No, God don't want to hear all that. Some of y'all just go in your quiet time in your intimate space with him and just pray and be complaining about stuff, asking him for stuff. You don't never sit still to hear back from him. You never just meditate on the word or meditate on the same scripture. You just sit there, you complain and you beg and ask like he's some type of genie. Like, some of y'all have this mentality that you're obligated to a blessing. No, we're not. God don't have to do nothing for us. He does it because he wants to. He does it because he loves us, not because we're obligated to it. I don't deserve no blessings. I don't deserve nothing from God. I'm very grateful for every opportunity and thing that he has given me, but I'm not obligated to it. And some of y'all talk to him like he's some genie, or no, having faith and talking to him like he's a genie is two different things. I always have faith with God. I don't care. It could be the whole room against me. If I know for a fact that God's going to do something in my life and move for me, I'm going to stand 10 toes down on that. You ain't got to believe. Even when it came to this podcast, like, I had people throwing shade and like, oh, you're starting off in the living room and da 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 da. Baby, I use what I got. If God has given me a talent, I use what I got. And when he gives me more to excel, which is a prime example, this right here is a prime example. When he gives me more, then I'll be able to operate in the space where I can operate. You have to steward over what God has given you. Some of y'all want bigger houses, bigger cars, more money, and you can't even control what you have. How do you want more money from God and you're spending your money like crazy? You're not investing in nothing. You're not taking care of your bills. Your kids starving. Like, how do you want more money from God and you can't even steward over what you have? You want a bigger house, but the house that you got is always dirty. You never clean it. You don't take care of it. Walls turning colors. That's crazy. Stewarding over what you have. I take pride in taking care of the things that the Lord has given me. Yes, I don't have a BMW, but I got a car that gets me to point A to point B. I thank God for it. I'm going to keep the car in the inside clean. I'm going to make sure my seats is washed. I'm going to get a nice car wash. I'm going to take care of what I have. have. My house, it may not be a 5 bedroom house, but I have a roof over my head. I'm capable of paying the bills that comes with the house. I am going to keep it clean and make it feel like a home because this is what the Lord has given me. You have to steward over what you have. So yeah, I may have started off in my living room. I may have started off in my car. I may have started off outside at the park, but I steward over what I had, and God put me in a position to have more, which is why I found this space, and I feel like this was led by God. So I say all that to say, you got to use what you have. Don't sit on talents and the things that God has placed inside of you because you don't have the resources. Don't y'all know that if God has given you instructions to move and do something, that He's also going to provide you with the resources? He's also going to provide you with the connections. He's also going to make sure that you have the funds to do what it is that you need to do. Don't you understand that? It's like God is not going to set us up for failure. He's not going to tell you to do something and go move on something just to leave you stranded. Absolutely not. He is going to set you up. But some of y'all won't move because you want to be perfectionists. I used to be a perfectionist, I promise you. One thing I love about myself, I'm about quality though. You know what I'm saying? I don't like to just put out anything. Like, I don't want to just rush the process and do what I want to do just to say I did it. I'm really big on quality, and it shows in my modeling, it shows in my photography, it shows just in my life. I'm big on that. So I'm going to sit back and research and do what I need to do to make sure that I'm producing that. But I found myself in a season where I wouldn't move out because I wanted everything to be perfect. And God was like, no, I just asked you to move. Don't worry about how it looks the first time around. Just move and do what I asked of you to do. And some of y'all need to learn that. Everything is not going to be perfect. Error, you should be happy when things fail because it gives you an opportunity to look at what you need to do differently. So I put my plan in motion. This didn't happen the way I needed it to happen. How can I re-strategize? Now we need to talk about new strategy. This didn't work this time, so I'm going to move this around to do this time. Failure is not the end all be all. That sets you up for success. You have to fail in order to be successful. You have to, or you will never know where you lack at. Failure shows you your weaknesses, but it also shows you your strengths. And if you could sit with yourself and be like, okay, well, I'm gonna just do this around and do something differently, it builds you up and builds you up and builds you up to be great. And so, baby, I started off in my living room, but God's putting me in position to do more, and I'm gonna keep stewarding and stewarding and stewarding until I have my own studio. That's my goal, to have my own everything. But I thank God for the places and spaces and connections I make with people to do all that I have inside of me. So yeah, just move out and do the things that you know that you could do. Even with modeling, again, I keep talking about my modeling workshop, y'all, because I am scared. I'm not gonna lie, I'm scared. This is the first real event I have put together. Slaying God's Way Modeling Workshop, June 28th, 29th. It's a 2-part workshop. And if you didn't know, I'm going to give a little details here. The first day, I'm giving you the rundown on how to be successful in the modeling industry. I remember when I first started, I just did not know what to do, where to go. I felt pressured to tap into things that wasn't me. Slaying God's Modeling Workshop allows women to come in leaving more confident, understanding the business side of modeling, and understanding that you don't have to degrade or over sexualize yourself to make it in this industry. Okay. And that's the main goal. Yes, it's faith based, but I'm setting you up for greatness. And then I'm providing you digitals that first day. So you're literally, for $85, you're getting free digitals. Who is doing that? I'm teaching you how to do your comp card. Who is doing that? I have Ramia Grant coming in. She is an incredible model. I don't know her personally. I've seen her on Instagram. We follow each other. I think she stated that she's only been modeling for a year. The girl is cold with her modeling. Okay. Like, her posing is ridiculous. Like, she is very, like, I don't know if she's a dancer or she did dance, but she is like one of those models that like can bend over backwards and like really expand her body in ways that I didn't even know was possible. Like, she is a great model. And so I will be having her come into Slaying God's Modeling Workshop to really teach whoever is, in attendance how to pose. Posing is important. I also wanted to collaborate with her, because how I am is I don't have a problem giving people their flowers. I don't care if I know you or if I don't know you. If I think you're awesome, you're awesome. And if I have an opportunity to shed light on your talent, I'm gonna do that. I'm really big on that. So not see, but be prepared to see more collaborations with me and other people, because it's a couple people in Detroit that I want to highlight, that I actually want to bring on this podcast. But shout out to Ramia. She will be in the building June 28th. And then June 29th from 12 to 5, for the people that's in attendance, I'm giving you a free photo shoot at a private location. Okay. I have rented this spot out. We have all day, from not really all day, but from 12 to 5, to help you start your portfolio. That's what this day is about, starting your portfolio. You don't have to worry about getting a photographer after this workshop. The next day, I'm literally taking photos of you so you can start your portfolio, and I'm giving everybody a customized portfolio book that will come after the workshop, because I want you guys to be able to go through your photos and pick which picture you like, so I can put it on the front of your portfolio book. Hair and makeup will be on set. This is stuff that I'm doing out of my own pocket, y'all, that the Lord has given me money to do. I am scared. And God is like, whether it's 2 people or whether it's 10 people, you are still pouring into these individuals some way, somehow. So I got to get out of my head and stop thinking I'm failing because it's going to be 2 to 3 people. But I claim it's going to be 10. I hope 10 show up. But even if they don't, I'm still going to do what the Lord told me to do. And somebody is going to leave that workshop prepared. They're going to leave that workshop more confident in who God has called them to be. And they're going to be ready to shut the town down. So, yeah, go to my website, abriellesonke.com. That's ABRIELLESONKEI.com, and get your tickets to Slaying God's Way Modeling Workshop. So I guess I can consider that a little sponsor. I guess I sponsor myself. Sponsorships are coming, y'all, but until then, I'm going to sponsor myself. Go to get your tickets from Slaying God's Way Modeling Workshop. So, yeah, there, that was my little spiel on my modeling workshop. But, yeah, y'all, like, just reminding yourself that there's nothing that God can't replace, right? Like, I feel like the enemy, like, perverts the way that we see things. You know what I'm saying? So when it comes to like being out and all that stuff, like he'll pervert it in a way to make you feel like, oh, it's the end of the world, you're boring, you're not having fun. But it's like, no, like even when it comes to drinking, I'm not a heavy drinker. I told you guys I'll have a margarita here and there, a glass of wine here and there. But like just to live life sober, like with a sober mind, and to be around like, wow, and like really enjoy the moment, that's a blessing. Like I be around people that just feel like they got to get drunk all the time. And I'm not being judgmental. Whatever floats your boat, do what you need to do. But like, I really feel like there's something deeper to that. At some point, y'all got to be real with yourselves and be like, okay, I don't just drink like this for fun. Cause some of y'all that I know is alcoholics. Every time I see you, you are under the influence. What is going on? Are you okay? Like, what's going on? So to see them people and see that they cannot function without having a blunt, they cannot function without having a shot, it's sad. It's really sad. And I be thinking like, what are y'all going through? Like when people do stuff like that, I really feel like maybe just being in that type of state of mind is just a quick second to relieve them of whatever problems that they're going through, or relieve them from whatever issues that they're battling with, whether in their mind or just real, in real life. And so I just thank God that I'm just in a space of just being sober. And then I, the club ain't the only thing that's fun. I don't even see how I even thought that was fun back then. Like, I'm not even trying to be funny. Yeah, you dance, but what was fun about the club? We spending unnecessary money on drinks we could have made at the crib. Like, what was fun about the club? We spending money on food. Everybody a fly on the wall. What was fun about that? Talking to people, weird people. Like, no, I like to go camping. I don't know. I find an interest in things that I never thought I would be interested in. Like I want to go to Nashville, Tennessee, and just do the most countryest stuff. Like I don't know, mudding, things like that. Like I like to go bold, travel, big on traveling. Like me and my husband and our kids, we go traveling every year for my birthday. I try to go to a different state. We haven't been out the country yet, but we're working on that. But every year for my birthday, I go somewhere. I couldn't go nowhere this year because I just had my daughter on April 24th, so I had to sit this one out. But we planning something right now with the kids because now that I have kids and now that I'm married, I just see things differently. I was just telling my cousin the other day, we were having a conversation. Love her. KD, if you watching this, love you. And we were just talking about like the stuff that people care about today. We do not, I do not care about it. She do not care about it. Like I know people who will spend 7 hours trying to piece an outfit together just to make sure that it's Instagrammable. I can't relate. I used to think that that stuff mattered, likes and all that stuff, baby. But y'all gonna get whatever I post on that Instagram. If I want to come on the Instagram with my bonnet on, if I want to come on there looking like Little Bill, y'all gonna get whatever I put out. And I just think it's crazy how people idolize these things like, oh, I can't post this. This isn't right for Instagram. Man, live y'all lives. Y'all idolize a lot of BS. And it just be like, I don't care about this stuff. You got people on here making kids feel bad because they don't got Ferragamo at 12. What's wrong with y'all? Like, let these kids be kids. You got people on here comparing their lives to somebody who got a yacht at 21 years old. You know what I'm saying? And we don't know these people lifestyles. We don't know what they've done to get these yachts. You know what I'm saying? Some of them just blessed, right? I don't like necessarily saying we don't know what people have done to get this, even though that's true. But sometimes people just blessed. Some people are just put in a position to have a yacht at 21 or put in a position to have a BMW and things of that nature. But that doesn't mean that you're failing at life because you don't have a BMW yet. And then some people, y'all be talking about people who are okay with being normal. Some people don't want a BMW. They're okay with their Volkswagen. Like y'all make the normal things that's supposed to be normal. You make people feel bad for just living normal lives, and there's nothing wrong with that. If I was put in a position where I had money enough to buy me a yacht, I probably wouldn't do it. I would still be shopping at Fashion Nova and Target and all the places that I love because that's just me. That's the things that I like. The money don't change me. You know what I'm saying? Nobody would even know I would have money. I would be investing in homes and things like that. But y'all make people feel bad for wanting the normal things in life or enjoying the normal things in life. Talking about people's car. I seen a post the other day and it upset me because this guy was talking about this other guy's. I don't know if they were in a like a argument or what they were fighting about, but he was like trying to talk about his job and talk about his car, and I think you're a horrible human being if you talk about somebody's job. I don't care if you work at McDonald's or if you're the mail lady down the road. If God is giving you a job to where you could pay your bills, you could pay for that daycare to take care of them children, you got a roof over your head, you got an apartment, wherever you at, your car, it might not be the flyest car, but you have a car, baby, you're winning in life. You're doing good. Congratulations. Kudos to you. I think you are a weird human being to sit up here and talk about people's jobs and how they're going about living their life and doing what they need to do to make it out here. You are weird to sit up here and talk about somebody and their lifestyle. That's weird. You're spending too much time focused on stuff that don't got nothing to do with y'all. And yeah, I just, that really upset me. So yeah, y'all need to stop making people feel bad for wanting to live regular lives. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't, even with my Instagram, I have people all the time to be like, why don't you do this with your Instagram? They see 10,500 followers and they be like, well, why don't you do this? Why don't you be an influencer? Why don't you do this? Baby, I don't have the time for one. For two, that's not who I want to be. I don't want to be a known influencer. Okay. I talk about what I like to talk about. I am a Jill of all trades. I literally do a lot of things. I don't want to be on Instagram fighting for my life, trying to get y'all to like my videos and stuff like that. If it does well, it does well. I will be consistent with what I can be consistent with. But to go out of my way for the approval of other people, I'm not doing it. And that's how I look at it. Like, I'm not going on here to, oh, I have to keep up with this. I need to make 5 posts a day. No, I post when I post. And that be y'all problem. I'm not trying to keep up with nobody. I do what I do because I genuinely love to do it, not because I'm looking for validation. I say that all the time. I said that in my last episode. A lot of people do stuff for the wrong reasons. I do this podcast and I do the things that I do because for one, I want to bring more lives to Christ, and I want to provide an authentic podcast about your walk with Christ, right? For two, I just I use the things that I do as a way to help other people. So even with photography, I got into photography because for one, I model, so I know what angles look good on people. But I also like giving people memories that they can have for the rest of their lives. When I do my photography sessions with people, people tell me all the time, thank you for helping me with my posing. You did this. I felt more confident and da 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 da. And that's all I want people to leave with is the confidence. Like, really love yourself. Enjoy yourself. Enjoy this moment. Feel yourself. Like, turn up. That's why I do photography and modeling. Modeling was for me, right? When I started modeling, God used that to show me how He seen me, right? And that's why till this day I have the respect that I have in this industry. I have formed certain connections with people because of my integrity. I don't care. I'm not going to do something just because I want people to like me. I'm not going to do something just because I want the 10,000 likes and I want to be known across Detroit. I promise you, I do not care about being the most popular out here in Detroit. I am known for my integrity. I am known for the way that I treat people. I am known for the way that I handle myself when I'm in these spaces. Can't nobody I've ever worked with in Detroit, and this is down to the models or the photographers, the fashion designers, anybody cannot say that I'm not professional. When Abriel comes into the building, I'm going to be about 10 minutes early. I'm going to ask you, do you need anything? That's just how I operate. I'm very big on being professional. Some of y'all think it's okay being late, and y'all don't understand that when you're not serious with the little things, nobody is going to take you serious when it comes to the big things. Be on time. Say hello. Play your part. That will get you far. Just be yourself. But yeah, y'all. Um, Unfortunately, I think I'm gonna wrap this episode up because I thought I would have more to talk with. I really did not have really much else to say other than what I wanted to talk to you all about today. Next episode, I will let you know on social media when that will drop. Thank y'all for listening to this. I know it was a little bit all over the place. I think it's because I'm nervous, and I shouldn't be, but I'm so excited to bring you guys more episodes. Again, follow us on Give and Go Podcast with an underscore. Share this with a friend, somebody that you think can benefit from this conversation. Follow me on TikTok, Chosen by God 26. And until next time, gang, peace.